Good morning. I was going to do the Scorpio reading. That's what I had set out to do. I actually wasn't going to do any videos right now at this moment because I was dressed and had my things together and was getting ready to head out the door. And all of a sudden I was, just really guided to make a video. I was like, you know what, Tracy, you're in such a hurry. You got all day to do these things you're trying to do. Sometimes, I get like that. I'm in a hurry. I just want everything just right now. And it's really hard for me to kind of lay back and just go with the flow. Because I'm always scared that if I do that, that nothing will get done, that I have to kind of stay in that whole motion of, I gotta go, gotta push, gotta push, gotta push, And that's stressful. It's really hard on your heart. It raises your blood pressure. So, but that's not what I was going to make the video about. Like I said, I sat here and I thought, well, you know what? I could make the Scorpio video. I've got time. But something else was really on my heart this morning, and it is shame. And I was thinking about, how many times people will try to shame us for putting ourselves first. For trying to get our own needs satisfied, for speaking our truth. And people want to shame us for that, or if somebody's hurt us, they've done something to us that has been, some sort of transgression, and we call them out on it. And how many times people will try to flip it around on you and make you seem like, you don't know what you're talking about, or you're being too needy, or, sometimes, I've been gaslighted before. I think all of us have. Gaslighting is a term that gets thrown around a lot, just causing that cognitive dissonance where, you know what happened, but the person makes you kind of doubt yourself. So really, with the shame, it really goes back to human conditioning. Whatever type of conditioning we took on as a child. There were some of us that were sexually abused or physically abused, neglected, rejected, abandoned, all these things. I'm laughing, but I was sexually abused, I was abandoned, I was rejected, I was, emotionally abused too. And I can actually talk about these things. But there was a time that I couldn't because of the shame that was involved. In fact, the shame was so bad that I actually had repressed memories for 10 years. It was so shameful that I had actually repressed it. I had, came to my mom when I was a young child and told her must have been 5 years old, and told her I was a victim of sexual abuse from neighbors for a whole year in the trailer park that I grew up in. And she made me feel very ashamed about it. Very ashamed. In fact, I was no longer, we moved away. I was no longer allowed to talk about it. It was not allowed to be brought up in my home. And this was something that I really needed to talk about. I needed therapy. Really. But sometimes families will just, they'll just brush things under the rug. And then as we become adults, we haven't dealt with that shame. And so any type of thing that comes up will trigger that shame in us. And it can be, you can be in a relationship or a marriage and have sexual needs that are not being satisfied. Or, maybe your sexual desires are a little kinkier than your partner, and that can be shameful. And maybe you enjoy watching porn and, you were raised to believe, maybe you were raised in a religious home and you were raised to believe that that was wrong. And so you have a lot of shame around that. Sorry, my mouth is really dry. But it's nothing to be ashamed of. Once you can learn to not worry about what other people think about you, because I've gotten to that point and it's liberating. Like, just about, you can say just about anything to me and I just don't give a shit. It's very liberating. I think about all the times that people, try to embarrass me or humiliate me or talk bad about me. I don't care. You could say anything about me. I just do not give a damn. Fuck it. I don't care what, I know people talk about me, she talks about sex and she does astrology readings and she talks about magic and she's not Christian and she worships Santa Marta la Dominadora and, just all these things. I don't care. Say what the fuck you want to say about me. It's not going to affect how I feel about myself. There used to be a time I would have sat and really obsessed about it. People think that, I'm this or that or whatever else. Who cares? That is freedom. And it really involves really being very comfortable with yourself and really being comfortable with your sexuality. When we reject parts of ourselves, other people reflect that back to us. I will repeat that. When we reject parts of ourselves, other people reflect that back to us. So anytime someone is showing you something that does come up that you do feel ashamed about, you need to go within and you need to look at the different aspects or different parts of yourself that you have denied, that you do not feel good about. And what's really helped me is I've taken my focus off of what other people think or how they feel about me. And I've gone within and been like, okay, how do I feel about myself? That's all that matters. That is the only thing that matters, is how I truly feel about myself. And everything else will reflect back to you. Because once you feel really, really good about yourself, and you can walk around here and, with confidence and no shame whatsoever about, anything that's happened to you in your life, you realize that, we are souls first and foremost that have incarnated here, and these are our physical vessels that we have taken on, and we've taken on these different human experiences so that we can experience what it's like to be human, and we are the universe experiencing itself. How does the universe experience being human? It makes itself into many different particles which form one big particle, which are all always connected because we all come from that source energy of love that is the universe, and we experience individually different human experiences. Collectively, we're still one consciousness, so we're never separated from each other, and because we are all like this piece of a puzzle that forms the universe. And we came here to experience these things. And once you can tell yourself that, you'll realize that everything has been perfect. And you'll stop putting so much stock in what's going on in the physical world. Because once you really connect to that and really realize that, raise your consciousness to realize that you are the universe experiencing itself first and foremost. You're a co-creator with the universe. You can create any type reality that you want. And you really stop denying parts of yourself. Really love yourself completely and whole. You're a soul first and foremost. And once you do that, your outer situation will reflect it back to you. So that's all I wanted to say, because I need to get out of here and get a few things done today.